Nice to be with you today, but I'm going to be on a telephone because we're doing a lot of filming, and I can't be on my regular Zoom film this morning. However, we have a lot of positive information, a lot of new information to share with you. For example, on health and healing from Green Med Info, Satterjee, who does a lot of good work, by the way, the real benefits of lemon water according to real science. Now, keep in mind, I've been suggesting for years, decades, that you have lemon water each morning. Now, you can add something to it. You can put some ginger into it, some green apple into it, celery into it, and all that merely makes it even better. But this morning, for example, I went out to the tree and I picked some lemons up off the ground. I always let the fruit fall to the ground, and then I pick it up the next day, because that's the ripest fruit. That's the best fruit, tastiest fruit. Bring it in, wash it off, cut it. And by the way, after I cut any citrus, or anything for that matter, avocado or anything, I wash the surface area, because when you use a knife and you cut through the skin, then if there's any contamination on the skin, it's now smeared over the flesh. So let's say I wash my avocado thoroughly. I wash the knife blade. I peel the avocado. I wash the peeled avocado. Then it's safe. You have no idea how many Americans each year develop food poisoning because something was left out too long, a bacterial infection, something wasn't really washed thoroughly, and that's why I don't care if it says it's triple washed. I go ahead and wash it again the proper way so you don't get food poisoning. In any case, so same way as the citrus, wash it, cut it, wash the top of it, juice it, but then this morning I put in a tablespoon of elderberry concentrate. Why? Because right now there's all forms of viruses going around that generally affect the upper respiratory tract and the lungs, the sinuses. Some are flu, some are cold, some are COVID of the variants. And so this way it protects all that, because elderberry concentrate is one of the most powerful immune stimulants you can take in. But you have to read carefully if you're ordering online, because you can also get elderberry, but it's in a tincture, and it's 30% alcohol. You don't want that. You want the pure, unadulterated concentrate. So you're getting a lot. So a tablespoon of that went into my lemon juice. I used the juice of about 4 lemons. And then I used some celery juice, and I also used some coconut water to fill up the whole 16-ounce glass. It's always best to have this first thing in the morning when you get up. Why? Well, Satterjee's done the research for us here, and he talks about lemons. Now, we already know that lemons originated from India, and especially around the Himalayan foothills, and then spread from there. And historically, there were 2 types of lemons, the Lisbon, Lisbon, and the Eureka, Eureka. But there's other types of lemon. I grow Meyer, Meyer lemons. They're a sweeter lemon. And the fruit is lower in calories. It only has 29 calories per 100 grams, so it's virtually nothing. But it's a good source of vitamin C. I mean, a really good source. A single lemon contains about 30 to 40 milligrams of vitamin C, in comparison to an average orange, which contains somewhere between 80 and 90 milligrams of vitamin C. So when you have your lemon water in the morning, one of the things it does, it helps detoxify and cleanse. This is the first benefit that comes to mind when it comes to lemon water. Not surprisingly, the amount of urine is increased when drinking lemon water. However, lemon water brings with it the primary compound known as citrate, C-I-T-R-A-T-E. Now, this is a naturally occurring inhibitor of toxins, which can build up in the form of crystals in the body, lactic acid crystals. And the citric acid enhances your body's ability to naturally flush out these unwanted toxins. As published by Dutch researchers in the European Journal of Nutrition, lemon peels and the waste stream of the lemon peels are effective in lowering blood and liver cholesterol levels. As published in Indian Researchers Journal, the British Medical Journal of Pharmacology, 2005, hesperidin, Hesperidin, that's a citrus bioflavonoid found in lemons, demonstrates the ability to protect the liver from damage. After administering CC4, a well-known liver toxin, the authors concluded that hesperidin demonstrates a protective effect on the liver. These studies shed light on the lemon's ability to enhance the liver's function of filtering out unwanted toxins. Do I believe that every person receiving chemotherapy, which is toxic to the liver, should have lemon water? You bet. Now next, it improves digestion. Citrus bioflavonoids, or what are called flavonoids, are the primary cause of improved digestion when drinking warm, not cold, warm lemon water. They aid in the assimilation of food, help prevent fatty liver and disease, and decrease the chance of cardiovascular disease, fat lowering, and reduce insulin sensitivity. So that's important. Now also, the citrus bioflavonoids act as a great digestive tonic. It helps suppress the appetite in those that tend to overeat, and it also helps calm an upset stomach or mild indigestion. So if you eat too much, if you ate the wrong combination of foods, fine. Take a little bit of warm lemon water with fennel and anise seeds and powder in it. It'll help. And this has to do with the hydrochloric acid in your stomach that start the process of breaking down your food. It's believed that citrus bioflavonoids in lemon water support the hydrochloric acid in the stomach. Now also, it improves the good bacteria in your gut. It alkalizes your system. If you're new to the concept of alkalinity, it's the process of neutralizing acid in the body. The basic idea is your body has certain acids that can build up, causing negative side effects, such as acid reflux, and upset stomach, and acidosis. And an ideal range to fall between 4.6 and 8.0 and can be tested with pH strips using saliva or urine. Lemon water is a safe and effective way to manage your pH levels, and achieving healthy alkalinity can benefit your bone health, reduce muscle wasting, decrease chance of hypertension, high blood pressure, and strokes, and improve cardiovascular health and improve memory. It also can help reduce wrinkles and improve skin. And you have to drink the lemon water every day, but also you can apply it topically. Lemons have been found to be high in antioxidants, which are linked to anti-aging properties. The primary cause of aging comes from free radicals that cause the breakdown of various tissues in the body, namely skin. And research showed that plant-derived antioxidants were able to reverse the breakdown of collagen fibers in the skin. Hence, a healthy plant-based diet and juicing and lemon water can benefit. It also has essential oils. So the oils in the lemon peel are very beneficial for you. In fact, one of the most interesting parts is linked to the oil that has antimicrobial activities against bad bacteria, yeast, and fungi, such as Candida albicans. You might know it as just a yeast infection or Candida infection. In a study performed by the Central Food Technology Research Institute, they looked at how what is called geraniol, G-E-R-A-N-I-O-L, which is a phytonutrient found in lemons, aided in reversing diabetic neuropathy. That's a big deal. The study showed that sciatic nerve damage was reduced through lemon oil. Again, that's the geraniol. In the full 8-week study, cellular function was restored, suggesting that the use of lemon oil regularly assists in regulating energy stores. So, those are just some of the real, not all, there's a lot more on lemons, but that just shows you why you should be having lemons and lemon water, warm lemon water, and you can add to it anything else that you feel is beneficial in the morning. From Harvard School of Public Health comes a study about the variety of healthy eating patterns is linked to a low risk of premature death. What's that mean? According to Harvard School of Public Health, and this is important, this was a part of the Dietary Guidelines of America study, a variety of healthy eating patterns are linked to reduced risk of premature death. And they found that participants who scored high on adherence to at least one of 4 healthy eating patterns were less likely to die during the study period from any cause and less likely to die from cardiovascular disease, cancer, or respiratory distress compared with people on lower scores. Now, few studies have evaluated whether greater adherence to the recommended dietary patterns is associated with long-term risk of total cause-specific death. The researchers used health data collected over 36 years from 75,000 women participating in the Nurses' Health Study and 44,000 men in the Professional Doctor Study. All the participants were free of cardiovascular disease or cancer at the beginning of the study and completed dietary questionnaires every 4 years. And then it was scored based upon what they ate or didn't eat. And they found that those who had whole grains, fruits, and vegetables, and nuts and legumes had substantial improvements, higher scores. And that meant longer lives. That meant less disease. That's all good. And by the way, we are now in the process of writing up over the next week the final results of the study, submit for peer review. And my hope is that someday this week, the university will give us the very comprehensive and, I must tell you, very complicated understanding of the DNA methylation test that we all took in the last study in April. But I'm confident that this will come in shortly. I was given a promise from the director of the Institute it's going to come, and we can be setting some scientific history if it does. And if that's the case, then I'll do 2 studies. I'll do one with a new protocol that I've come up with, and because I don't have to follow their protocol, I want to expand on it. And some people can even do this in their own home. And this will be a long-term study. This will be a 1-year study that you can do from home. But I'm not going to discuss that at this point. I have to get all the results in and see what we can actually say we proved versus not. So mind you, the studies that you're looking at are non-specific. If you take 100,000 nurses and physicians and you follow them over 36 years, and then you see who got sick and who didn't, and then they tell you, well, this is primarily my diet, but here's what you don't know. You don't know if there was anything in their lifestyle that was very stressful or toxic environments or working long hours or working around radiation equipment or any form of electromagnetic pulse. You don't know that. You don't know if they were also having primarily healthy foods but a lot of junk foods as well, and I see a lot of people do that. We don't know how much alcohol they drank. And because frequently when people are just drinking wine, we say, well, wine is good for you, and that's not true. A resveratrol, which you find in wine, is good, but you'd have to drink a case of resveratrol, and hence a lot of alcohol and a lot of sulfates, which are very toxic to your lungs in particular, to get what you can by just having 200 milligram capsule of resveratrol. You don't know how much stress these people are under. You don't know how they responded to losses in their life. And because a loss can increase the grieving process for long periods of time. And that means that your cortisol levels are on 5-alarm fire 24/7. That really prematurely ages because it creates a massive amount of free radicals in the form of oxidative stress. So these are the things you don't know when you do a study like this. It's all based upon surveys and keeping diaries and then saying, no, I didn't get cancer, no, I didn't get heart disease. But what were the things you might have had? Were you at normal weight? How much exercise did you do each day? What was your body mass index? So that's what they don't do in these studies, but these are still considered really important studies. And I would agree they give us a good indication. But what I do is I do really specific studies where we have to interview every single person. We have to know everything about their medical and health backgrounds and their diet and their lifestyle. All that is taken into consideration. Then we put them in an enclosed environment, meaning we have them all at the same location so they can't cheat. So everyone's taking the same supplements, everyone's eating the same food, same number of juices, same exercises, just different intensities, same nature time, and meditation classes, yoga classes. So then we have a really, really tightly controlled study. These are very difficult, very expensive to do, and I can only afford to do maybe one, most two a year, because that just takes an enormous amount of effort. But if you get good results, if you're breaking through barriers that no one has done before, then I believe it's worth it. So now we're just waiting to see what were the results. I'll share all of that with you as soon as we get them published. Now, from Harvard University again comes an article published in the Journal of Urology. Improved prostate cancer survival found among men who use zinc supplements. That's good news. Let me quote directly. Quote, biological and experimental evidence support restoration of normal zinc levels in malignant prostate cells as a promising prophylactic cancer treatment. Yet the influence of zinc after diagnosis on prostate cancer survival in the human population is unknown. All right. Quote, few studies have investigated post-diagnosis zinc supplementation in prostate cancer survival in the human population. But this one did. They investigated 5,788 men diagnosed with non-metastatic prostate cancer who enrolled in the health professionals follow-up study, and 15% of the men reported using zinc supplements after their diagnosis. During an 11-year median follow-up, 3,198 deaths occurred among those 5,788, and among which 527 deaths were caused by prostate cancer. Men who reported using zinc supplementation after being diagnosed with prostate cancer had an 18% lower risk of dying from the disease and a significant 16% lower risk of dying from any cause in comparison to men who did not use zinc. In fact, there was a 45% lower risk of dying from prostate cancer and a 23% lower risk of dying from all-cause diseases among men who used low-dose zinc. That would be like 15 milligrams. Now, just imagine. So they're saying, yes, men who use zinc survived at a high percentage. But what if they also used Africanum pygeum and bioflavonoids? There are at least 20 different nutrients that are shown to interfere in the prostate cancer pathogenesis process. And that's just one nutrient. And I don't even see from the study what form the zinc was in, because not all zinc is absorbed the same. So, but still, even just plain old zinc made a difference. That's good news. Also, from the University of Copenhagen comes a study that vitamin D improves immune response to tuberculosis. That's really good news, because worldwide, 2 billion people globally suffer from tuberculosis, and 1.5 million people worldwide die from it each year. But according to the peer-reviewed journal Frontiers in Immunology, vitamin D3 can help the immune system fight tuberculosis. Quote, for the first time we have shown that vitamin D improves the immune system's ability to fight the tuberculosis bacterium, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, end quote. That's the Professor Wiseman from the Foundation on Skin Immunology Research Center at the University of Copenhagen. Again, good news. And finally, from universities in Pakistan and Qatar, the study finds that a combination of L-carnitine, now that's C-A-R-N-I-T-I-N-E, carnitine, and vitamin E can overcome immunosuppression. Wow, this could help tens of millions of Americans. L-carnitine and vitamin E can improve the immune system. That's according to this latest, and if they're taken together. And that's very good, all right, especially for autoimmune conditions. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who haven't been eating your broccoli, well, just look what it did to Bush Jr. Or no, that was Bush Sr. who didn't like broccoli, right? Broccoli sprouts have 50 times the anti-cancer properties of broccoli. You can grow this on your own windowsill. You can grow it on your kitchen counter. Broccoli sprouts are expensive. Generally, they're around $7 to $10 for about 3 ounces. So you can grow pounds of it cheaply. And this was done at Johns Hopkins University. So buy the broccoli sprouting seeds, because these are really high in the nutrients. In fact, it offers more than 1,000% more nutrition than their full-grown broccoli. And there are a lot of studies on broccoli as an anti-cancer vegetable. But are broccoli sprouts even more anti-cancer than broccoli? You bet. And they did research between 1992 and 97, a 5-year period, and they found it's rich in sulforaphane. And that sulforaphane is really powerful as an anti-cancer nutrient. Yeah. Good to know, right? And for no other reason than what can help reverse or stop a disease can frequently also prevent it. And I would also add in a lot of other cruciferous vegetables, cauliflower, asparagus, Brussels sprouts. And a good way to make Brussels sprouts is simply to boil them for about, I would say 3 minutes, and then cut them in half. Then put them on a tray for baking at 350 degrees and baste them with a teriyaki sauce. And then do the same thing with eggplant, same thing with cauliflower, same thing with asparagus. And you baste them and you let them heat for about 10 minutes. That's it. And then you can nicely arrange those around a plate and put your main grains or beans in the middle of the plate. Have them that way. That's the latest on health and healing. I want to thank you all for taking the time to listen to our program today. Again, I'm on a telephone. We are just in the last day of finishing filming a brand new documentary, and I'm doing introductions, filming it, and one last person we're filming, and that one we're hoping to bring to New York to premiere when I have another brand new film that we're finishing post-editing, that we're going to bring 2 films, brand new, you haven't even heard of, hard-hitting, to New York. One's very upbeat and positive and can save lives. The other is a real expose, which can also save lives. Anyhow, those are probably going to be about 2 months from now. And I'll be up in Woodstock. I'll be out in Long Island. We're going to do a double feature out in Long Island. I sent him 5 documentaries and said, you choose, the owner of the theater, I said, you choose which ones you feel your audience would like to see. Because my audience has any of these. I've been working nonstop doing these documentaries. But there's a reason why. As I feel that this year will be the year when a lot of information is made available to the public that is honest, objective, very important that we know things that impact our lives, and that would be banned on the major media. So people have a chance to see a whole lot of new stuff. And we're updating new books, and old books are being updated to make them brand new and all new information. So a whole lot's going on, and I'll let you know about that when each one becomes available. Let's take a break and come back with more information. Stay with us, please.
Are you tired of closed-minded programming? Well, look